I'm so excited. Adobe just released the brand new texture slider for Lightroom. First slider they've released since 2015. We're gonna check this slider out. I'm gonna show it to you. I'm gonna show you how it works. But I have some other important news, exciting news. This channel, Pal to Tech, just got its first sponsor. All right, we'll be back right after this commercial break. You like the Ed 209 or what? Put them right here. Oh. Red gel, yes please. Now that's protection. Roll intro. Hi everyone and welcome to Pal to Tech. Today I'm excited actually about two things. One of them I'm going to tell you right now. That's the Adobe slider, brand new download release improvement that they've made. I'm really thrilled about this. And the second is that today, I'll tell you at the end of the video. First, the Adobe slider. This new slider is called the texture slider, and I think it sits to fill sort of a gap where the clarity slider leaves off. The clarity slider, when you crank that up, sometimes can do a really good job, but at other times the problem is the clarity slider looks at the entire picture and just does everything all at once. It clarifies all the pixels. So here we're going to go with a portrait first. You'll see that the texture slider is right located in this area here. In this portrait, I'm going to move the clarity, the old slider, down a little bit. And as you can see, it kind of does everything. Look at the hair. Everything is just kind of this ghosty, fuzzy look. But if I use the texture slider, look at how it's more subtle. It's much more subtle. Likewise, if I increase it, same thing. It's more subtle. It brings out the mid-range is better, whereas clarity just is like this brute force blast of clarity. The texture slider kind of focuses on the mid-ranges of the picture, just like that. Let me show you a better example with an owl. In this example right here, if I kick up the clarity, everything gets kicked up. Look at the background. You see that now? This is an extreme example, but I'm moving it all the way to 100. But nevertheless, you can see it. Or if I drop it down, it's, you know, ghost owl. So the problem is that the clarity slider would just kind of crank up the noise on everything. Whereas, let's try it now with the texture slider. I'm going to move up the texture. Look at that. Have a look at this. Look at how the feather detail does get bumped up, but the background does not. Let's look at another example. Here I have a sunflower taken near Savannah, Georgia, with a lighthouse in the background. So normally what I would do here is once I'm done adjusting, you know, my color balance and my tone, I would go down to clarity and I would bump up the clarity a little bit. But here's what's happened in the past. If I go to clarity and I crank that up, as you can see, it brings out the lighthouse too much. See the red in the background of it's like it's too strong. It's too strong. Now if I try the new texture slider and I bring it up, look at that. Have a look at that. It's just more subtle, except look at the sunflower now. The sunflower looks awesome. Look at that. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Whoops. Let me go in a little bit closer so you can see what I'm talking about here. All right, let me go back. I'm going to reset these, okay? If I go clarity, check it out. Not good. Not good, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go clarity. Even if it's clarity, say, at about 50, it's still not that great. But now let's go to texture. I move up texture. Look at that. Look at that. It brings out the sunflower without screwing up the background, which is really nice. One other thing you should know about this new slider that is really awesome, you can use the local and targeted adjustment tools with this new slider. Have a look. So for example, if you go into your radial tool right here, you will now see the new texture slider, which you can then obviously crank up here. If you just wanted, for whatever reason, you just wanted to do that one part of the picture, you can then crank up only the texture there, and it would only affect, see, that one part of the picture. So targeted adjustment tools in Lightroom will work with the new texture slider. I actually think that the new texture slider is going to be really helpful the most for Fujifilm users because of the way in which the RAW files come out of the X-Trans sensor on the camera. I think it's going to provide a little bit more control over what part of the image you want to apply that clarity to and what part of the image you want to not apply the clarity to help reduce the worm effect. Okay, that was news number one. The second piece of good news really only affects me. So, but you know what? I just have to share it. Today is May 15th, and it's a very special day to me. I don't normally get personal in my videos. Normally it's all about cameras and tech, but today I need to. Today is the 20th anniversary of my marriage, and I thought I would end this video by showing you what is my favorite photograph, or at least in the top 5 favorite photographs ever taken. It's right here. So this was taken, I don't know if you can see it. Yep. Can you see it? Good. This was taken about 20 years ago. That's my wife and I in India in front of Taj Mahal. And here's the thing. I don't know who took this picture. It was somebody just walking around, and I said, you know, hey, can you take this shot? And it was taken on film. I believe it was, you know, I don't even remember. I know it was a Kodak roll of film. I don't know what kind of film. I don't know the f-stop or the shutter speed or anything. I just know this was like a snapshot. But one thing I know is that if my house were on fire, this is the picture that I would take. I don't even think I have the negative for this anymore. This is it. And there's something special about that photo. You all have that photo. You know what I'm talking about, that photo. The one that doesn't necessarily have, you know, the texture slider applied to it or anything like that. Photography is more than just the tools. It's more than just the sliders. It's more than just the software that you use. It's a hell of a lot more than all the science behind it. Well, I'm going to go celebrate my 20th anniversary, folks, and I would like you, please, to go get the update, play with that texture slider. Let me know what you think. That is, if you do use Adobe Lightroom. I want to hear about it. Comment below. Let me know how it works for you. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and take care.